Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually view my video. My channel really is aimed at helping people try to earn more money, and this video is going to be about lead generation and about how you can earn more money for your family, for yourself, and obviously it's to try and help you move forward in your life. If like me, I'm a working class guy, I'm always looking for ways to earn more money. And something that I stumbled across a long while ago, and which I've really been doing really for the last 20 years, is to generate leads for local companies. Now, you need to realise that this is not a hobby. This is not something which I do to earn, if you like, hobby money. It's something which I make my living at. Yeah, it's something which I've done for a long while, and it's something which I know a lot about. I'm going to talk to you about the ways that you can actually earn money, and obviously what I do to actually earn money on a daily basis. Um, you need to realise that if you are going to get involved in lead generation, that and if you want to earn money at it, you need to first of all realise that it is a job. Yeah, you can't just expect to say call yourself a lead generator and not go out and generate leads. So you need to put in place things that are going to help you to actually generate leads. And there's all different ways of doing it. I'm going to talk about what I do and what I do to really earn, I wouldn't say fantastic money, but to earn good money. Yeah, you can earn good money at it. If you automate it, you can earn obviously a lot more money. But what I do, if you like, I kind of use the old-fashioned techniques, and that is just literally talking to people, and obviously talking to people about obviously home improvements or about what they're thinking about doing. Now, the best way I think to generate leads, and this is not about generating them online. I'm going to talk about what I do to generate them offline. I'm going to go through all the different things that I do and about how you can actually start earning good money at actually generating these leads. Now, I would say the best way, if you're a people person, if you're someone like me that hasn't got a problem talking to people, or haven't got a problem talking to people in the street, at a market, wherever I am, this for me is undoubtedly the best way for you to get into lead generation. Yeah, what I would do is I would contact some reputable companies in your area. It might be that you know a window company, it might be that there's a company that manufactures blinds, it might be that it's a roofing company, you know, any company in your area which you know is reputable and which you know you're not going to get no comeback from if you pass them leads. And go into these companies and talk to them and say to them, I can obviously get you business leads for your business. Now, they're going to be skeptical at first because they're not going to think that perhaps you're able to do this, or they might not know who you are. But you need to say to them, look, you're taking no risk. I will give you leads with your, you know, for your company, and then your salesman or closer, whatever you want to call them, will then follow that lead up. And then if that lead sells, and only if that lead sells, do you pay me? Now, what I do, I've got quite a few companies that I get work for, and they typically pay me between 6 and 10%, yeah, of the contract price. So this, you know, this is obviously something which you can negotiate, and obviously, if you like, change as you progress, if you like, in your lead generation career. I'm going to talk. I'm going to assume now that you've got companies that obviously want your leads, and you've made an agreement, if you like, with these companies as to what they're going to pay you. It's then for you to take on board and to obviously motivate yourself to actually get these leads. Now, I'm going to talk about what I do to actually get these leads. Yeah, by far the best way for you, if you're a people person, to get leads is to do big markets in your local area. Or like me, even if you have to travel. Yeah, one of the companies that I get work for, they do roofs. I travel, I worked all weekend. I work Saturday and Sunday. I work two big local markets, and I had a fantastic response. Yeah, and this is what you've got to do. You've literally got to set up your actual stand. Go to these markets and set up a stand, and actually put the items that you actually sell on your stand. In this case, for me at the weekend, it was actually selling these new convertible conservatory roofs, and stand there with your brochures and actually promote these businesses. Um, because this is what you've got to do. If you really, really want to earn money, you've got to be amongst the crowd. Yeah, you've got to be amongst the crowd. And this is what I do. I am always out and I am always promoting somebody's business. Sorry, I've just had a text come through. But this is what I do. So for me, I go over the market. Typically for me, Saturday, I went to a big market. I put up a stand. I had a paste table. I had some samples on it of the tile that we put on these conservatory roofs. I had my brochures, my company brochures. I was dressed, I was dressed similar to how I'm dressed now. I had a nice shirt on, so I was, what I call casual smart. I don't go over there wearing suits or anything like this. I'm just casual smart. And as people are walking past me, I'm actually asking them. I'm just trying to find out what I do. I'm actually asking them if they want if they've seen our roofs. As they're walking past, I'm saying to them, have you seen our the new conservatory roofs that are on the market? And I've got an A board and I'm pointing the people towards the A board. I've also got a binder of the before and the after. So obviously when people, if you do get someone that decides to have a little look, you say to them, first of all, I say to them, what have you got? What sort of conservatory have you got? What roof you got? They might say they've got a pitch roof, and I basically get into a conversation with these people. I don't go straight for the lead. I don't go straight for the inquiry. I just say to them, I talk to them. I say to them, what is it you've got? They might say, we've got a pitch roof. And then I say to them, oh, great. I say, these are some of the jobs we've done. It takes all the heat off your conservatory. It keeps it warmer in the winter. I go into my pitch, but I do it in a way not to pressure the person. Yeah. And then when you feel like you might have built up a little bit of rapport, if you like, with the person, you say to them, we're obviously, it's something that's well worth considering. Would it be okay if I gave you a brochure? And then they say, oh yeah, okay. And then all I ever turn around and say is, because all I'm going for is the number, I say to them, look, in all honesty, would it be okay if we just give you just one follow-up phone call to see if you'd possibly like an estimate? And I joke about it and say to them, it really helped me out. And most people will say, yes. Yeah? Not always. You don't catch all the fish, but you do get a lot of them. And I say to them, here's the brochure. I write their name and number. I try and get an address if I can. Yeah? And then that is all I can do. That's all you can do as a person that generates leads. It's not your job to sell it in the street. It's not your job to, that isn't what you're there for. Your sole reason is to gain that inquiry, to gain that number, and to give them a brochure and to build some sort of rapport and to try and try and sell the concept. I do that on every single job, on every single lead. In fact, the guy that does the closing for this particular company, he says to me, Colin, you make it easier. Because when he goes through the door, assuming they let him go through the door, I've already told the person what that product is going to do for their conservatory. I've told them how it's going to make it cooler. I've told them how it's going to make it warmer in the winter. I've told them about they ain't going to hear the rain when it rains. I've sold them the concept. He will then go through the door and then he will go over all the different buying points, and then he will go for the close. But that ain't what you've got to do when you're at the market. You're selling the concept and you're selling the inquiry. And this is all I do. This is all I do. Now, if I get, if I get so many leads and then I'm passing those leads over, it's a numbers game. Yeah. To give you an example, I worked Friday. I worked at a busy shopping centre on Friday. I worked Saturday. I worked a very busy market, and Sunday I worked at another very busy market, and I generated 23 leads on those 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I generated 23 inquiries. Now, I don't know how many of those are going to pitch. I don't know how many people will let my friend walk through the door. Yeah, I'm not in control of that. But you need to understand if you get into lead generation that it's a numbers game. Yeah. So if I have a good week and all of a sudden I have a big week, with obviously a lot of money coming through, it's usually because I have generated a lot of inquiries, which basically comes down to me going to work. Yeah. So, don't think that you're going to get involved in lead generation and you're going to put out 100 leaflets and you're going to earn a fortune. It don't work that way. But your income will be solely dependent on your ability to obviously go to work and to generate these leads. But if you're a people person, it's something which is not difficult. It really is a good way of earning extra money. If you're like, it might be that you're working in a job where you're getting, what I call crap money. If you're getting basic wage, if you're working working in a shop and you're getting £6-7 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is, it's a joke. It really is. These people, I'm not having a go at anyone that does that, but these people that perhaps work in a garage or they go and work in a shop and they're getting like, they're getting like £600-700 a month, and they're working like 30 hours a week. To me, you've really got to start looking at other ways, more cleverer ways, more smart ways of generating this income. Now, I ain't sitting here saying I've earned fortunes, I've not. But, if you can generate leads and generate good quality leads, you should be able to earn £600-700 a week quite comfortably, because you don't need many sales to actually earn money. I mean, if I think back to last week, I didn't have the greatest week. I earned I think I had about 600 quid. I had a couple of little sales go through, but that was from that one company. That wasn't from the other companies that I get work for. Yeah. The week before I had a good week. I had two deals sell for over 16 grand. Now for that particular company, I get 6% of the gross amount. So work it out. It's money. Yeah. So I ain't saying again. I don't want to make you think that you can earn fortunes at it. You can't. There are people that earn loads of money at it, but I think they're doing it more. They're using ways online. They're generating leads for multiple companies and they're doing more online. But the purpose of this video is to make you realise that if you haven't got enough money, it might be that you're a single mum. It might be that you're a working dad. You're working 40 hours a week and you're earning 300-400 pound a week, and you need an extra £200 or £300 a month. You really can do it with lead generation. It's not difficult. Yeah. All you need to do is find reputable people, reputable companies that will honour what they're going to pay you. Like my mate who I get work for, one of the guys who I actually generate work for, if he sells a deal, he's straight with me. He says to me, Colin, he says, like, if that deal goes in, you're going to get paid for it. And you've got the details. You've got to remember as well, you've got the You've got the lead generation details. You've got the person's name and number. So do what I do. I do random calls. I don't ring up every one of my leads. I don't do that. Certain people that I get work for, you know, I've got a bit more of an element of actual trust. But you hold the details. So if you pass a lead over and you think, well, that was a really good lead, that was like, you know, that was a right, what I call a creamy lead, and the person says to you, well, they didn't get a quote, or it didn't sell. Well, guess what? You can ring it up. You can ring it up and say, look, what happened? You know, what happened? And if they say, oh yeah, he come round and we purchased a £6,000 roof or a £5,000 kitchen or whatever the leads is you're getting, well then you can go back to that person and say, hold on a minute. And if he don't pay you, guess what? You strike him off. You cut him off like cancer. Yeah, it does happen to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I had one years ago. I had a bloke. He sold a. I got a lead and he sold a conservatory, £14,000 conservatory, and I was owed £1,000 out of it. Yeah, about £1,000 out of it, and I rang him up, you know, and he kept putting me off, and I kept saying to him, well look, you know, I ain't giving you no more leads till I get that money. And in the end, I said to him, I said, well, am I going to get that money? And he went, no. He said, look, it's looking like the guy ain't going to give it to you. I said, that's absolutely fine. They were my exact words. I said, you know what? I said, I'm absolutely fine with that. Thanks for letting me know. And I actually said to him, you'll never hear from me again. And I never gave that geezer another lead. So he nicked £1,000 off of me, but he cut his own throat. Yeah, he cut his own throat. And every day since then, where I've not been giving him leads, he's been cutting his own throat. But some people, you will come across these people. They're what I call small-minded people. Yeah, you know, they're like unscrupulous. But if you get in with someone who's fair, yeah, get in with someone who's fair, and you give them leads. Like me now, I'm off today. I'm having a few days off. I worked all weekend. I am a bit tired. I worked like 4 days on the trot. And now I'm having a couple of days off. Yeah, but Wednesday is Tuesday day. Tomorrow I'll be back out again tomorrow, and I'll be throwing another 3 or 4 leads at him. I'll be throwing another 3 or 4 leads at my other mate who I get work for. Yeah, so you know, I just want you to realise that don't be put. If someone says to you, "I'll go and do another 6-7 hours work," you know, doing the job that you normally do, you know, start thinking a bit outside the box. Because some of these companies, you know, like I say, I get work for about 4 or 5 people now, right? One of them I get 6%, which I'm not totally happy with, but you know, at the minute that's the deal I'm on. I get work for another guy, he gives me 8%. I've got 3 people that give me 10%. Yeah, I've got a mate of mine does repair work. He just fixes windows every single month. I know for a fact last month I must have given him over 40 leads, and he will pay me every time he does a job. He pays me on that job. Every time he gets an add-on, if that person rings him back, yeah, and says, you know, you fix one window, I want another window fixed now, he still pays me. His dad, who I used to get work for years ago, he said to me, Colin, I will pay you on every single job, new job, and I'll also pay you on every add-on. And every month he does. I hold him to his word. Well, I don't need to. The money's there. My money is in my. He gives me the money. He writes the jobs down that he's paying me for. He writes the person's name, the person's phone number, and how much he's paying me. Yeah, you can earn a lot of money at lead generation. I've been doing this for over how many years? It must be over 25 years. And I've bought a big house. I've got a nice house. I've got a car. I've got all the normal things that people have who do what I call reasonably well. Yeah, like I say, I haven't got a mansion. Taking it one step forward, if you, again, something I've not really got into, but which I am looking at now, is online advertising, generating leads other ways. But I'm going to talk about that in another video. Yeah, But like I say, the whole idea of this video was just to make you realise that, you know, if you're not tapping into lead generation and you need extra money, you really are missing out, because it's something that anybody can do. I say anybody. If you're like me and you ain't got a problem talking to people, yeah, all you're doing is you're talking to somebody, you're asking them about a product, you're trying to gain their interest. If they're interested, you're getting their name, their number, and then you're passing that lead over. Yeah, you know, you got to think about what some of these jobs that you are potentially getting for people are selling for. Yeah, I can remember a lead, and this is not an exaggeration. And at the time, ironically, I was only getting paid £70 for the actual lead. I was working for a big national window company. I'm not going to say which one, but I was getting £70 for a conservatory lead. So what that meant was, if the person walked through the door and they allowed the representative for that company to sit and give a quotation, then I got £70. Now, this company that I was working for at the time, I'm going back 15 years ago. I can remember that year because I had my accounts and I earned over 40 grand that year, right? But I was getting them literally, you know, 10, 15 leads a week. They were pitching my leads all the time. This particular conservatory lead that I got, it sold to two women in Hornchurch for £40,000. It was over 40 grand. It was a big one, right across the back of their house. And they bought this conservatory for over 40 grand. Now, at that particular time, I was only on lead money. Yeah? I'm not on lead money now. I get 6, 8, 10%. Can you imagine how much? Well, can you imagine if I'd been on 10%? I'd got 4 grand. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's fortunes to be earned in lead generation. Yeah, good money. You need to get yourself some decent companies who are going to pay you. Get yourself over the market. Get yourself a pace table set up. Get your samples on it. Get an A board. You know, start using your brain, right? I'm telling you, you can earn good money, and you will earn good money. But you won't just sit money. You won't just get money unless you actually take action. Start taking positive action. Start generating leads for companies in your area, and start changing your life. Thank you. I'm going to just ask you, if you can, please subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Yeah, please like it. Please share it. If you know someone who needs to earn money, share them, talk to them about, you know, what I've been talking about. Because you need to remember, whatever situation you're in, it might be a bad situation, it might be a good situation. If you're in a bad situation, like I was 2 or 3 years ago, where I was left, if you like, property rich, but I didn't have a lot of cash, there's ways you can do to change your situation. But you've got to change your situation. No one's going to change it for you. This government, I'm not going to go on about, but the government are in at the minute, this Tory government are in at the minute, they don't care about the working classes. They don't care about people like me. They're not interested in helping little people. We've got to start helping ourselves. Yeah? And that's what my channel's all about. It's all about trying to help normal people move on. Please like, please subscribe, and please share this video. And I'd really appreciate it as well if you leave, I'm going to say, a constructive comment. Thank you.